This is exactly how I use Blue Ocean strategy as a digital marketer for 6 to 10 figure clients. So if you're unsure what I'm on about, this book, Blue Ocean Strategy, is an absolutely fantastic book and lays out the principles I'm going to be sharing in this video. If you don't know me, I'm Deniz. I do 6 to 9 figure digital marketing for these brands on screen plus multiple others. And you can see I've got a page right here. You can click first link in the description to get a bit more of an understanding as to the type of brands I've worked with, who I can help, and some testimonials on screen as well. So you know I'm not just saying this for the sake of it. First link in the description if you want to check it out. Principle behind Blue Ocean strategy is stop trying to beat competitors at their own game. When I speak to clients and companies that are trying to do marketing across TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, etc., a lot of times they're looking at what their competitors do, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with this. I always do a competitor analysis as to what other players in the industry are doing. But you're trying, or what they're trying to doing a lot of times, is they're trying to see what their competitors are doing and trying to beat them on marginal gains. Like, oh, our competitors are posting 3 times per day, let's post 4 times per day. Or they're posting a video about this, let's copy them and do the same thing again. You're basically trying to take audience from the same pie. Instead, the principle behind Blue Ocean is you carve your own, basically ICP, you carve your own ocean, and from there, you've got, well, multiple different other people you can attract that your competitors aren't even considering. So what a lot of people normally do when it comes to their social media strategy, a lot of businesses I work with, is what is my competition doing well? How can we copy them and then get mixed results? Some videos will be good, some videos won't be good, but there's nothing really scientific going on there. It's all just a game of cat and mouse. What are the other people in my industry doing and how can we try and beat them at their own game? When in reality, we want to do something like this. We want to have our own lane. The competitors can do what they're doing on their side, but if we carve out our own lane, and we find our own audience that really loves us and our product, then we can win long term. And that is how we carve out a blue ocean. So I'm going to show you what's called a strategy canvas. And this basically highlights how Apple carved out a blue ocean in the phone industry. So let's ignore smartphone for now and just compare iPhone to the feature phone. So for each of the factors, so price, variety of models, number of physical buttons, business applications, PC-like performance, mobile internet, yada, yada, yada. For all of these points, these are different factors behind the phone. And then we're ranking where the offering is, like the value for it. So on price, you can see iPhone is very expensive. It's high on the price point, whereas for normal phones, price is fairly medium. And you do this for each of the aspects, right? And the whole point of a blue ocean strategy is you don't want to win everything. The plan is not to have high value for everything across the board. You're okay having low value for certain things like variety of models, number of physical buttons, business applications. iPhone's okay having that low compared to the feature phone, but on the points that matter, the factors that play a big part in whether an audience wants to actually purchase that product or service, those are the points where you really want to succeed in. And that's what iPhone did really well. They made themselves have PC-like performance compared to a feature phone. They made it stylish and fun, easy to use. I remember there was an old interview where I believe it was Steve Jobs saying your grandma or granddad should be able to pick up an iPhone and learn how to use it in 10 minutes. That's our goal. That is ease of use. Whereas back in the day, a lot of old people, they didn't really know how to use phones a lot of times. iPhone makes it easy. My grandma uses an iPhone. and to put it kindly, she's technologically inept. And she's able to use an iPhone, right? That shows the power of thinking from a blue ocean strategy standpoint. So this is not just applicable to phones or this industry. This is applicable to a wide range of industries. Like I said, I've worked with both physical stores. I've worked with B2B stores, all the way from like cafes up to actual e-com stores. Then I've also worked with softwares. I also co-own my own software, Verlo, which you may have seen grown to 70,000 users in less than a year since launching. This blue ocean thinking goes across multiple different industries. You've always got to think, okay, if we have a canvas right now, let's think, what is a general market doing? You don't have to do this from a competitor by competitor standpoint. Just think general market, what are they doing? What are we doing? Where are points that we are excelling above the market? Let's market those. So when I look at business, I always plot this for them every single time. I'll speak later on about how I literally just did this the other day for a client I just onboarded, which is a B2B sort of cafe. They're like a chai distributor. And I just literally onboarded them the other day and I did this for their business. And I always look at, okay, where do we excel as a business? And if I can identify where we are excelling compared to norms, that can be our blue ocean that we can exploit through marketing messages. So Apple, for their marketing message, can say something like, your grandma can learn to use an iPhone in 10 minutes. It supplements their ease of use style and fun. You've got lifestyle videos of people using iPhones. When people use an iPhone, if you watch the commercials, right, it's not a lot of times tech people. Back in the day with phones, it'd be tech nerds using the phone, like trying to appeal to other tech nerds. With iPhone, it did the complete opposite. It was day-to-day people just walking around in the park, on the bus, using the phone. They made it more of a lifestyle, right? That is what you're getting with the Blue Ocean strategy. So whoever did marketing for Apple and thought of that, absolute genius, right? And we can just supplement exactly what they're doing and apply it to our own industries. So when I work with my businesses, as I said, well, my first question to them is, what is your Blue Ocean? If they have one and they know it, fantastic, off to the races. If they don't have one, no problem. That's part of why I'm on board. I help basically plot out this content canvas strategy with them. I do it in like the kickoff call normally. And then from there, we get good understanding. Okay, this is what we really want to target with our marketing messages. So here's another example directly from the Blue Ocean strategy book. And that is the Yellowtail, which is a wine. Well, they sell wine, right? And normally wine would be seen as very premium. It's very high class, or you'd have budget wines. That would be the only two. What Yellowtail did really well is it priced themselves above budget wines, even though if you look at all of these things here about the vineyard prestige and legacy, the aging quality, all this sort of use of enological terminology, all these things you'd associate with wine, like, oh, it's 100 years old from this Italian vineyard, etc., etc. It's complex, like all the higher class people care about. They didn't care about any of that stuff, but what they did care about is they made it easy drinking, they made ease of selection and fun and adventure. The wine market, throughout its history, never targeted beer drinkers. They saw it as lower class people that would never enjoy wine. Yellowtail saw, rather than trying to go after people that were premium wine drinkers, they knew they'd never capture that market. There's far too much, domination there. They're not going to be able to capture people that are premium wine drinkers. Let's go for people that drink beers, that drink those sort of beverages, those cheaper sort of alcoholic beverages. Let's try and go for them. Why? Because they would probably get into the wine market if there was a price sensitive option that made them feel like it was easy to drink, like a beer, etc. So that's what Yellowtail did really well, and they grew very, very fast because of that. And you should look into their whole marketing strategy. It's a great other example of Blue Ocean, because this part right here, what their competitors are not doing, that's the Blue Ocean they exploited. So it's all about creating new demand. When I look at a business, when I audit them, when I look at their digital marketing side of things, like I said, I've worked with businesses that are I've worked with businesses starting out. I co-founded my own software, Verlo, which was quite literally starting out, pre-MVP. How do we market it? How do we get to 70,000 users in less than a year and over 1,700 enterprises? It's not easy, but you've got to have some kind of plan and you've got to create demand. So whether it is a starting out business, a 6-figure business, a 10-figure billion-dollar business, I've worked with a range of them, been paid by a range of them to do digital marketing. I'm always thinking, how can I create demand for this business? So target new customers, not competitors' customers. You don't want to look there and say, if let's say you're in the, you're in the phone industry. Apple shouldn't be looking what Samsung's customers doing. How can we take them? Then they're looking elsewhere. They weren't looking at what Nokia and all these customers were. They were saying, how can we target people that don't even use phones right now? How can we get them in to use iPhone, right? That's the power of it. So let's target new customers. And this all comes from these 4 questions, right? Who is underserved from competitors? So when you look at who your competitors are serving, what type of people they're not serving? Could we actually serve them? Like if you think about it, okay, our competitors are not targeting these people. Could we target them? Can we serve them? And then we form marketing messages. If they're not being served by competitors, if we could actually serve them and it makes sense to, then let's start running marketing messages towards them, because that is a whole untapped market. Like if you think about the pie and you're all fighting for a slice of this pie over here is untapped. 0% has been eaten so far. That's a whole pie you can take advantage of. So like I said before, I was going to give an example. I just started working literally yesterday. I had a kickoff call with a tea company who sells B2B and direct to consumer. And they're looking, they hired me to help them with their social media strategy, digital marketing strategy, right? And I spoke about the Blue Ocean with them. And one thing we noticed, and it's a good job they brought me on, a lot of people in this space don't have an established media brand, and they don't look at actually how they're selling the story of what they do. And that was a big part that I noticed in the Blue Ocean strategy canvas that I produced for them in our kickoff call. And based off that, it's going to help with the way we do marketing. I don't want to give away too much, obviously, because they're paying me for services. I don't want to give away all the information I'm giving to them. But the point is, right, when you identify where you're lacking from a marketing standpoint as an industry, that's ripe for you to take advantage of it. And it's not always going to work, don't get me wrong, but would you rather fight over the crumbs here or fight over the massive pie here, if that makes sense, the untapped pie? So that's a way you've got to really think about this. I hope this video has opened your eyes up to potential Blue Ocean strategy. And really, take a look at this book. I'm not just saying it. I bought it for a reason. It's a great, fantastic book. I've got my bookmark and I'm rereading it again right now. And if you are a business and you are looking to get support with your digital marketing, you can check out the first link in the description. You can fill out these details and book in a call directly with me. It won't be with anyone else, it will be with me. And we can discuss exactly how this will work for your particular business. It's a strategy call. And then if you like the sound of that, I can hop on board as part of your team. And even if that isn't the case, you'll take away some actionable insights you can utilize for your own business, all in the first link in the description. You also see a video by me talking about who I can and can't help, some testimonials, some brands I've worked with, and a little bit more of an explanation about my backstory. So you just know a little bit more about me and why I'm doing this. And also, if you do want to know a bit more about how you can do digital marketing for your business, or let's say you're trying to be like me doing digital marketing for other businesses alongside your own business, then you can watch the video right beside me. I go through Trojan horse marketing. It's one of the best marketing tactics I started utilizing. And trust me, when used correctly, you can make tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'll see you right there.